Hello. Hello. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Nosy Bystanders live show. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. There's a lot of news today, and not a lot, but like a lot of little tiny stories that are all just like spread across the internet. So I want to get into those like immediately right now. But first, let's see who's in the building. I know y'all, a lot of y'all got here early. Hello, Dina. I can't even see my mic is like right in my face. Hello, Dina. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Cami on the go. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Ruth. Ruth, how you doing, Ruth? Hello, where's the tea? Hello, dear journal. Hello, Mary Frances Williams. Detroit in the house. welcome Detroit. Hey, Shan. Hello, Unicorn and Dimples. How you doing? Hello, Courtney. Hello, AC. Hello, Just Bougie. Hello, Simone. Hello. I don't know if I've ever seen you here before, but welcome, Simone. Knows you're inquisitive. Welcome. Desiree says, Chino Hills, California in the building. Hello, Compass. It's just Spanish friends and family. Oh, that's right. You're Garcia. You are his. I just caught that. Garcia. You are Hispanic. Hello, Shauna. Hello, Denise. Everybody slide on in. Hello, Facebook user unnamed. Welcome. Hello, Nessa. Hello, Genealogy. Hello, Auntie Tonisha. How you doing? What's up, DL? What's up, Kashawn? Kashawn Dennis. 2 first names. What's up, music lover? How you doing? Hello, Ebony No Ivory. Nosy by Nature. Tamiri. Now, I asked you yesterday, and I don't know if I caught your answer, but your name is Sakithia, correct? Is that correct? Because I also know Sakithia, so I think that's so crazy. That's so cool. 501 Empress, hello. Ashley, hello. Beavers Valerie, hello. Michelle B, hello. So let's get into this story right here because this is going to be one of our shorter stories of the day. Look at this zit. We're going to be one of the shorter stories of the day, and I wanted to talk about it because it's a little bit interesting to me. It's interesting to me. So pay no attention to Regis and Kelly Kelly over there on the top corner, but this story is actually about our good friend Ime Udoka and his alleged mistress, Kathleen Lynch. And according to Entertainment Tonight, this is basically how the story was dropped. So it says sources tell not the State Farm ad. Excuse me, State Farm. Thank you. Sources tell Entertainment Tonight that Nia Long was blindsided by the cheating allegations, and sources claim that Nia knew the female staffer, had spoken to her multiple times, and even worked with her after the Celtics had started their investigation. The sources tell Entertainment Tonight that Long had no idea about the cheating until the Celtics announced Udoka's suspension. Long recently moved to Boston, but is now packing up to leave in light of the affair and Udoka's suspension from coaching. This is where the story gets a bit more. It says, I want to apologize to fans, blah, 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 blah. We don't care about that. I want to get to the portion of the story on how we found out. So it says here at the top, sources tell Entertainment Tonight that the unnamed female member whom Udoka was involved in was married, and their relationship was revealed due to the staffer's doorbell camera in her home. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me highlight it for you here. Sources say that the relationship was revealed due to Kathleen Lynch's doorbell camera at home. Sources say that. Why does it keep doing this? Sources say that she took a call from Udoka outside her home, and the doorbell picked up the conversation, exposing the affair. Ciao. Sources say she took a call from Udoka outside her home, and the Ring doorbell picked up the conversation. Now, if you guys don't know how Ring doorbells work, let me be your guide, okay? So Ring doorbell is an app, and every time you have motion in front of your house, it'll say motion is detected at the front door. It can either do it if it's connected to your phone, or it can do it when it's connected to your Alexa, like the one seen there in the corner right there. I unplugged her because she's loud right now. So when you go to your Ring app on your device, it actually shows you your front door. And every single time you have a notification, all you do is click on it and it gives it back to you like this. So if the husband heard the notification, all he had to do was play it back. If you're standing in front of your door on the phone, it will continue to record it until you come back inside the house or get out of the way of the motion of the door. So that's exactly how that works, which is wild. So the husband probably heard motion detected at the front door. He probably looked at the Ring doorbell and overheard her. Now, mind you, let me tell you exactly how messy Ring is. These recordings stay. So if the husband was watching her live, right? So he would just click on the live feature. He heard there's motion at the front door. I don't know why there's motion at the front door. I'm just going to click tap live. And he's now eavesdropping in on his wife. The moment that he's eavesdropping in on his wife, all he simply does is leave it, and now it's transcoding it and it's recorded forever. You could download it to your phone. And if her husband did that, he definitely sent that recording to the organization. Wild and ghetto. She got snitched on by her own Ring doorbell. Talk about salt, child. But I wanted to talk about the story. Now that's all the stuff that I have. Unless some of her best friends gonna start coming out and speaking to the media without saying anonymous, then all we can do is just kind of follow the big, players here. Entertainment Tonight, Radar Online, People Magazine. They're the ones who are going to get all the big tips on this story. It's going to be kind of tough for us to get the tips here at the Nosy Bystanders, but we'll definitely follow Entertainment Tonight because it seems like they're doing a pretty decent job at getting all the tea, honey. And I can't blame them. What's up, Keisha? How you doing? We'll talk about salty. Correct, you guys. Correct. Let's just move along to our next story. That I wanted to talk about a little bit, and it has a lot to do with the women seen on the thumbnail of this video. It's Azealia Banks, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and it's from Azealia Banks' story that she had posted on Instagram earlier today. And the story is I'm going to blow this up a little bit so you guys can see it. So, and I'm going to read it to you anyway. So Azealia Banks posted these two graphics on Instagram, and I want to read them to you. And then I want to just kind of get through the comments because this is going to be a bigger portion of our show. And I want to talk about the context of these, because with Azealia Banks, you have to break down the context of what it is that she's discussing all the time. You can't mince nothing up with Azealia Banks. You have to just come directly into what she's saying, so that way you can get a full idea about what it is that she's referring to. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh, I think this is what she's talking about. You have to really dissect. What she's saying all the time, constantly, because she speaks with a lot of riddles. Okay, let's just be realistic. She speaks with lots of riddles, and sometimes she says stuff very directly, but you can't just pretend that what she's saying isn't real. You understand what I mean? So let me just pull the screen up for you one more time. One moment. Okay. Okay. So this is her Instagram. Okay. And you may not be able to see it, but I have it here on my phone. So, because it's so tiny, I can't read it myself. Okay, so Azealia Banks says, Nicki is so obsessed with Cardi. It's only making me like Cardi more. Like I'm perched for C2. I don't know what that means. Nicki is giving 20 levels of peasy black girl with the burnt perm who was jealous of the Spanish girl that just moved down the block. Anyone who grew up in the hood knows this type of social phenom all too well. First off, Cardi is not ugly, and even if she was, her actual energy that she emits is 10 times more light and positive than whatever this bee is giving off. It's giving me sis needs a Dr. Sebi cleanse. All of them forming mucus forming foods. I can't believe anyone still eats Crisco in 2022. Will really have you pressed. When you see the Dominicans put that random slice of avocado next to everything, that's what it's giving nutrition. Ain't you Trini, sis? Where are your chickpea doubles? Nikki needs a strawberry nutrition, 2 Docalex, and a effing nap. She continues. She then says, the energy is giving constipated, regret, low self-esteem, hood food, grease, drop top chicken box. Like high key, these white girls stick together, okay? They're trying to make sure they stay rich and dominate and make the space prime for their daughters, even if they cannot stand one another in real life. These white girls really protect their space and pop culture hard. A smart Nikki would have done the Cardi, Doja, Megan collapse, smiled in their faces while Safari worked on her album in the background and then came through and dominated without showing the world how desperately you've relied on tokenism and sabotaging other Black female rappers behind the scene. Like it was an easy plan, but no. We want to feed the baby chicken bones, defend white girls wearing blackface, and give sex offenders cootie cat. Oy vey. That's how she ends it. She says at the end, oy vey. Now let's get into your thoughts. So leave your thoughts in the comments. Any portion of it, leave your thoughts in the comments. And I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay. I'll tell you what I think. I think Azealia Banks is correct. I think Azealia Banks is 100% on the money correct. She did not say one lie or falsehood in this statement here. I'm sorry, she didn't. I know a lot of people probably like, well, I don't understand the perm with the burnt ends, jealous of the Hispanic girl. I don't get that. Y'all know what that is. That's the thing. It's not that you and I may feel that way, but there were girls in our hood back in the day who acted like that, even though they didn't need to be because they were beautiful in their own right. But Azealia Banks makes a fantastic point. It's giving, I'm jealous of the new girl in the neighborhood. That's the takeaway. Don't focus on the perm or the Dominican girl with the pretty hair. Focus on, I'm jealous of the new girl in school. I'm jealous of the new girl at work. I'm jealous of the new girl in the neighborhood. That's what Azealia Banks meant. Correct. In her final statement, or in this portion right here, the part 2, Azealia also says that it's giving low energy. It is giving low energy. You have Black women trying to be rappers out here tussling, scared, and Cardi B is literally the beacon to help these women get on. Pay close attention to that. Cardi B is new to the game. Nicki Minaj been around for about 15, 20 years. And Cardi B is the one handing out these features and these double features, these rap EPs with these female artists, and with Nicki Minaj you have to bow down before she would even like grace you across the stage. So it's like Cardi B is the one trying to, it seems like, in my opinion, Cardi B is the one giving a leg up, if you will, right? Like, I'm giving a leg up. I'm giving everyone a leg up. Listen, I may not be able to break you off 100 racks, but I'll definitely get you a single that's going to get you 100 racks. You understand what I mean? Like, it's a different type of female empowerment that I'm witnessing with Cardi B than I have never seen with Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, the way that she gives out features, it's like, you have to worship me now. You know what I mean? You have to worship me now. If you're not worshiping me, you're going to be on the wrong end of the spectrum at the end of this. And that's not going to be good for you. You know what I mean? And that's not how it should be. You should be collaborating because you're working together as a collective to dominate the music industry, not for your own self-aggrandizement. Does that make sense? Azealia be in the library reading, child. Yes, she do. DC says, if you know, you know. That's correct. T Creek says, one thing about Azealia, she gonna tell the truth. Well, sometimes, yes, she does. But she as of lately, she's been pretty decent. And I'm just reading back at her statement here on my phone. So Azealia also says that high key, these white girls stick together. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. These white women stick together, honey. These white women stick together. Yes, they do. We know for a fact Taylor Swift is not the nicest person in the industry, but you would never know that because Taylor Swift is always going to extend the olive branch to her enemies. Selena Gomez, same way. Lana Del Rey, same way. Some of the meanest women in the industry, they don't care. They will still extend olive branches to you. Nicki Minaj is the final stage of the mean girls in Hollywood. She really is. It's easier to just be fake and let everybody get on versus gatekeeping because Nicki Minaj is very good at gatekeeping. And I think that's the problem. She's been gatekeeping too long and people are sick of it. They're like, we all want to eat too. Why are you the only one who get to eat? You know what I mean? Why are you the only one who get to eat, Nicki? How come nobody else can eat? I don't know. Not sure. She also, I'm reading her statement in bits and pieces. Azealia Banks also says that they're trying to make sure she's referring to white women in the industry. They're trying to make sure they stay rich and continue to dominate and make a prime space for their daughters, even if they can't stand one another in real life. These white girls really protect their space in pop culture hard. Yes, they do. They do. They really protect their spaces. Heavy on that. Heavy on that. White women protect their spaces so well in the industry. That's why they can move throughout the industry seamlessly. That's why it's very hard for Black women or women of color to break in because when a few Black people get on, we say that they're Uncle Toms. Nicki Minaj is an Uncle Tom. As soon as a few Black people get on, you got that Uncle Tom at the top, that final boss you have to fight in the video game just to get past them so you can get on. And Nicki Minaj is an Uncle Tom standing in the way of a lot of Black people to be able to get on. That's how I feel about Beyonce. Beyonce is also another Uncle Tom. Just standing in the way. Move. You already made $1 billion. Get out the way. But they don't get out the way. They don't teach you how to get into the industry when it comes to fashion or makeup or beauty or music. They don't teach you none of that. They just stand in the way. If you're not going to teach Black people how to get on, don't sing about Black empowerment. Definitely don't sing about Black empowerment. So get out the way. Azealia says a smart Nicki would have done the Cardi Doja Megan collab, smiled in their faces while Safari worked on her album in the background, then came through and dominated. Exactly, because Nicki not thinking. Nicki's thinking, I don't want anybody prettier than me in my music video versus let me just scoop up all these up and coming artists, get under my wing, start her own record label. Started her own record label. That's just hit for hit every single female artist in the game. And every time had talent scouts going there, searching through TikTok, searching through YouTube, searching through Instagram, going to the different clubs, looking for those women, you know what I mean? Who's looking, sourcing SoundCloud, looking for all of those female rappers. And then every single time you sign in them, every single time, you wouldn't even have to work. Nicki Minaj could have started the next Young Money generation of just female artists if she's so pro female empowerment. She could have did that by herself, hands down. Yes, she chose not to. Crazy. This is from Renita says that mess started in the last 10 to 20 years. I had never heard nothing like it. You're right. I haven't either. This from State Hunter says, have y'all seen how the bling ring girl was going at it again now? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, but y'all, I really hate projecting that image that we are the only ones that bicker. It's true though, but it's true. We are the only ones that bicker. We are the only ones that bicker. We are. This from Ashley Ivy says, you know how you have to speak when you walk into people's houses. That's the same as the like button. Let's not be rude. Hit that thing. I had to read the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to leave that up here, Ashley. Thank you. Leave that up here. But yeah, so I think Azealia Banks hit the nail right on the head. She definitely hit the nail right on the head with this because she's right. Nicki could have did so many things and she just didn't. Now, Azealia Banks doesn't need Nicki Minaj's to boost her up on her own stage because her genre of music is so different. It has such a different taste and a different audience. She doesn't actually need anyone's help to do so. She can just do it by herself. It's house music. You know what I mean? It's club music. It's music you see at drag shows and raves. That's what this kind of music is that Azealia Banks makes. So she's in a different realm of music making. Does that make sense? It does make sense, right? It does. This is from Tiny says, I think she had a label and signed 2 artists, maybe. Never heard of them after they did a song with her. I didn't even know Nicki Minaj had a music label. But yeah, so Azealia Banks, right on the money as usual. Of course, she's right on the money every single time. She's always out here telling it like it is with statements like this. And I couldn't agree with her more. I just couldn't agree with her more. She's really out here. I mean, she's just I don't know. She's just, she just be. I think that's why Nicki won't come back to Queen Radio. Now, mind you, as soon as Azealia Banks came out and said that she lied to Nicki Minaj has not been on Queen Radio, honey, since. Now, it could be because she's busy. It could be a number of things. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know what, but like, I think she's got embarrassed. I think Azealia Banks really embarrassed her. I think she really embarrassed her. This from Veronica Pierce says, all women bicker. It gets highlighted when Black women bicker. We get labeled. Exactly. That's why we shouldn't bicker. You know what I mean? That's why we shouldn't bicker because we get labeled crazy. And when white women do it, they get labeled hysterical. That's why they quit bickering. Does that make sense? He said, what's an Azealia Banks song? You got to look her up. Just bougie. She does house club music. So all of her music is geared toward raves, gay bars, gay clubs, and it's usually really popular in the UK. So you got to check her out. This from Taurus Season says, yeah, I think she did sign a few artists, but we wouldn't know because she busy being petty. Both, right? Isn't her last name Petty? Music Lover says, especially with the closing line about the cooter. Yeah, yeah, seriously. Seriously, like, I mean, that's all she's doing. She's just, that's all she's doing. She's just, Nicki Minaj is, it's just sad watching this and watching, of all people, Azealia Banks really just like, you know, really just put it all together and make it all make sense. It's really weird seeing that. It's really, really, really weird seeing that. She's actually making a lot of sense into that, you know. It's crazy because you would think somebody more mentally stable would be the one who's bringing it all together, but it's really Azealia Banks. She actually is making really good points, and we can't blame her for doing that. You know what I mean? We really can't blame her for doing that. Let me get this. Let me hear what you guys have to say. Mistress says, I'm late. You're not that late, honey. This is from the Queen Steph says, I'm late, but I'm here. Well, welcome. This is from Veronica. Veronica says, I'm not a barb. I know she has to be lonely. And Azealia Banks was supposed to be in her circle. That was foul. I don't think they were ever in the same circle, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure if they were, but I could be wrong. This is from Perma Wife says, you got to be far gone for Azealia Banks to be the voice of reason. You don't actually have to be far gone. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You gotta be far gone for Azealia Banks with the voice of reason. It's kind of wild to me that she is. It's just crazy. It's like Azealia Banks makes a lot of sense if you really just go back into her statement. I mean, she's making a lot of sense. Like, Now, granted, this does not expunge Cardi B from yesterday's antics. Cardi B still dead wrong. And that was straight up ignorant of her. But Azealia Banks is right. She is definitely right about a lot of the notions that she's making in these statements. She is right. It's giving, I'm jealous of the new girl in town. Let me go to Nicki Minaj's Instagram. Let me see. Now I don't leave comments on Nicki Minaj's Instagram because honey, I can't have her blocking me too. She blocked me on Instagram. It's a wrap. Hold on one second. It was Lil Wayne's birthday yesterday. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it was Lil Wayne's birthday yesterday. Okay. I just want to check to see if she was up to any of her ghetto antics. No, she's not. She just did a shout out. This was yesterday with uh Akbar V. I don't know what this is. She looks great. She's crazy, but looks great. And this is her for Lil Wayne's birthday. Um He did. He took a risk on her. Too bad she can't take risks on other female artists. She's got the weirdest jealousy complex I've ever seen in my entire life. Isn't Lil Wayne 40 now? That's right. Happy birthday, Lil Wayne. He is 40. What's up, Sandra? How you doing? Desiree says, why did Azealia Banks insert herself? I don't know. Good question. Kind of glad she did. She did shake the table a little bit. She definitely shook the table in a way that we needed it, you know. She definitely shook the table in a way that we needed it because it's getting out of hand if you think about it, right? It's this situation with the girls tussling, it's getting out of hand fast. Like Nicki Minaj has lost all her marbles. Cardi B is starting to lose her marbles. You know what I mean? Megan Thee Stallion is still holding it together. She won't say nothing. She's just kind of minding her business. Everyone is just really just minding their business. But at some point, it's all going to just collapse, and it's not gonna be a good look. And then the music industry is going to be like, well, these women are just too erratic. We're not going to sign any more. Then we're going to have this like a 10-year gap where we won't have no new female artists, no Glorillaz, no Megan Thee Stallions, no Big Lottos, no none of that. When the industry starts to close the door on these female artists, we're going to notice it's going to be like an apocalypse. So they better get it tight and right soon, or all the people holding the money aren't going to want to deal with them. Courtney J says, y'all think Wayne should drop his lil since he's 40 years old now, or do you think he can keep it because he's short? His lil what? I don't know what that means. Sharon's a good point. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, so I just think that I personally think that they need to get it together fast before the money starts to dry up. Because honey, when the money dry up, they're not giving y'all no more money. They are not giving y'all no more money. They're not giving y'all no more money. So y'all need to just get it together before the industry dry up, and then we got to go another 20 years without female rappers, and you only get a couple of sprinkles like the Little Kims and the Foxy Browns, and then you got nothing, and then it's just men dominating the scene again, and I'm sick of that. I like female rappers because it's another perspective, so I'm like, I need Nicki Minaj to just go somewhere and sit down. She's so toxic and volatile that it's making everyone toxic and volatile. Does that make sense? She's like a cancer of music. It's like no one's paying attention to it. She's the literal cancer of music for females. And it's like no one wants to pay attention to it. But she is attacking everyone, rappers, bloggers, degular people on the internet. And people are just like, do, do, do. Let her open up the BET Awards. Let her open up the VMAs. I'm like, are y'all psychotic? You're rewarding bad behavior. That's why she's continuing it, because she keeps getting rewarded. Every time she does something crazy and psychotic, people continue to reward her. So it's not an incentive to stop unless she starts to get blacklisted, backdoored, like she gets the backdoor to everything. Once they start really blacklisting Nicki Minaj, then you will see a turnaround. But because she's not blacklisted from anything, because they keep rewarding her and her poor behavior, that's why. You know what I mean? Torcisa says, and her fan base is the worst. Psychotic isn't even the word to describe them, honey. Psychotic's not even the word to describe them. But Cardi B, her audience is, from what I saw yesterday, her audience, the Barty Gang, is just as toxic. Barty Gang just as toxic, if not more toxic. You know what I mean? Or equally toxic, if you will. Barty Gang is just the same. You know what I mean? Doing the same thing that Nicki Minaj and her fans do. They're no different. They're no different. This is from St. Hudson said there was Madonna versus Lady Gaga, Britney versus Christina Aguilera, and then Jane Madison versus Marilyn Monroe. But there wasn't social media. It's not a black thing. I think it is. I think in this instance, it's a black thing, right? So your reference to Madonna versus Lady Gaga, that's a white thing. This right here we're talking about indeed is a black thing, right? That's just what it is. Tiny the Ninja says, I knew when she caught a temper tantrum when she didn't get an award from MTV and they really folded and gave her one because she complained. Yeah, but the Grammy still never gave her a Grammy. That's hilarious to me. Courtney says, Barty Gang is just slightly less toxic, but I think give them time, they'll be on the same level as Barb's. Absolutely. 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 Like, one second. Use a Cardi posted revenge corn. That's wild. I think it was already on the internet, but she reposted it and didn't help. This is from Deanna says, I think it's the record label pressing this mess. I don't think so. I think these women are rogue on their own, unfortunately. I think there's very little that a record label can do in this instance, right? Because this is a lot. This is quite extreme. So I don't think this is just the record label saying, go at her. I don't think so. The record label cares about selling albums, not all this other stuff, at least in my idea. Deanna says Cardi and Nicki don't even have the same talent. They don't have the same talent. Aren't they both rappers? Or am I wrong? You mean like they don't have the same style of rap? But they're both rappers. I think that's the same talent, but I think you might mean they don't have the same style. What's up, Ditch Doctor says, I know if someone comes for me, I'm hitting below the belt. It's just gross. I'm just like really sick of both of these women at this point. I'm sick of Cardi B and I'm sick of Nicki Minaj, except I've only been blocked by one of them. So I'm gonna just keep my distance from the Barty Gang, but they're not crazy. If I say something about Cardi B, the most they'll be like, it's girl, you wrong, but they're not gonna come after me like Nicki Minaj and her sycophants did, which I'm not. That stuff doesn't scare me. I don't know if I told you guys that, but that stuff doesn't scare me. Like, the people are not coming to my house for any way, shape, fashion, or form. And also, they can't sue me because I've never said anything disparaging about Nicki Minaj. Her blocking me isn't worthy of being sued. In the same token, I would never say anything vehemently without knowing it for myself. You know what I mean? Like, without knowing it for myself. So yeah. You said don't have the same skill set. I'm not entirely sure. St. Hudson says, you're taking my comment out of context, but it's okay. What was your comment? Let me scroll up. I'm sorry, I might have missed it. Hold on. You mean this one here where it says there was Madonna versus Lady Gaga, Britney versus Christina Aguilera, even Jane Madison versus Marilyn Monroe, but there wasn't social media. It's not a black thing. That's not out of context. That's within context. You're saying it's not a black thing. This in particular is a black thing because it's black. They're female artists of color, and they both are within the genre of hip hop, which is predominantly listened to by black folk. So it is a black thing. Unfortunately, I know we don't want it to be a black thing, but it is a black thing. It's black all day. You can't get around it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's Siberian music from Russia and you'd be like, it's not a black thing. You're right. It's Russian. It's a Russian thing. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, this is a very black thing, and we have to own that. Granted, we don't like it, but it is what it is because they started it. The question is, are they going to stop it? Does that make sense? Like, are they going to stop it? Are they going to get their acts together? Will Nicki Minaj end up, by proxy of how toxic she is, get blackballed by all of the industry, and then therefore it just kind of ceases all of this like rhetoric and toxicity? But yeah, it's definitely a black thing. I don't think I took that out of context. I think that's well within context. And it's understandable. We don't want it to be, but it is what it is. Apartment wife says she means it's not just black people fighting, which is true. Just look at this. Don't worry. Oh, I got what you mean. So yes, people fight all the time, but I'm talking about in this specific context. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, all of the other rappers that Nicki Minaj, according to you guys, sneak this on the internet and talk about, all of those people, they're black. It would be different if Cardi B was white and Megan Thee Stallion was white and Little Kim was white and Glorilla was white and it was Nicki Minaj, and I'd be like, it's a rap thing. But Nicki's only targeting black female rappers or of black or rappers of color, right? So how else am I supposed to define that? You know what I mean? It's not like Nicki Minaj is going after, Jeffree Star and Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'd be like, that's a makeup thing, you see? Because she's only going after makeup artists. But if she's only going after black rappers, I mean, what assessment am I supposed to take from that? That it's a white thing? Because it's not. Or it's a hip hop thing? Because it's not. Because they're never discussing music. Like, you stole my lyric back in 92. I said this key phrase. I copyrighted it. That's a rap thing. They're not arguing over lyrics. They're arguing over they don't like each other. Like, what else is it? No, I understand what you're saying. You're saying black artists are not artists who go back and forth, or the only ones who go back and forth. That's what I'm saying. Got you. I know that. But that's what you're doing here is called whataboutism, right? So whataboutism is important because you're like, hey, you guys are doing this, but they're starving kids in Alabama. Because listen, let's be realistic. America's a third world country. They're starving kids here instead of people saying they're starving kids in Africa. They're starving kids here. I understand what you're saying. Whataboutism is important. So whataboutism is not like something you throw to the side and be like, oh, what about that? Got it. But in this instance, your whataboutism doesn't work because we're not talking about Marilyn Monroe and Lady Gaga. We know that they have fought in the past. What we're referring to is Nicki Minaj attacking black and people of color rap artists. So the whataboutism is great because it does have context in other subjects, but I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about Azealia Banks summing it all up together about the specific event of Nicki Minaj and everyone else. Does that make sense? So your whataboutism, it works in other instances, right? But it doesn't work here. So I got you. Got it. So we're here. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. And Azealia Banks being the true beacon of hope for these women is rather sad because it's like she's the only one who gets it. But I think I think there's a lot of things working against this beef stopping. Their fan base is being way too big. Way too big. Because like anything in society, anything that gets too big will crush itself, right? It's too dense. At some point it's going to crush itself, right? Like a dead star. And I think that's what's going to occur with all of these female rappers beefing. I think at some point they're going to implode and they're gonna fall in on themselves. And the question is when. You see what I mean? Like, when is it gonna happen? Because I mean, Azealia Banks is making a fine, good point with these statements. She's making a really good point with these statements. Let me pull up her statements again. Hold on one second. She's making a really good point. She said Nicki is giving 20s level of peasy black girl with burnt perm who's jealous of the Spanish girl that just moved down the block. She's right. It's very much giving that. It's very much giving that. Let me get some of your comments. Deanna says Azealia is a major troll and gaslighter who wasted her talent because she was blackballed. She didn't actually waste her talent. She just moved her talent to a different region of people who still listen to her, like Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and Europe. So she has an audience here in the US. Don't get me wrong, she does have an audience here in the US. But I think based off of what I see from Azealia Banks, the majority of her audience is definitely overseas. Azealia was blackballed for speaking the truth. Yeah, she definitely was. Yes, she was. And now look at her. It's coming full circle. This is from Taurus Season says, she rubs shoulders with people that actually shape our world. You mean like Elon Musk? I wouldn't agree with that, but you're definitely right about that. Your eyebrows look great. Thank you. I didn't do anything to them. I really just rolled out of bed. Desiree says, what is going on with Ray J? Has he left us hanging? I think so. Ray J has not come back. He has not completed that full story. I don't know what went on, and maybe he saw how popular it was. So I think this was so the Kardashians could give him some hush money, if you ask me. That's what it seems like. It seems like Ray J said all of this. He put it all out there so they can give him some hush money. And I think they did, because I don't think the Kardashians are at a position to just let Ray J just go crazy on the internet. They definitely gave Ray J some hush money. They definitely gave him some hush money. This from Taurus Season says, that ain't why I said yesterday this beef is very street. Azealia summed it up perfectly. And that's why I said yesterday this beef is very street. This beef is not street. It gives street overtone towards season, right? Because everyone has a thick accent wherever they're from, New York, Queens, Brooklyn, Atlanta, and how they talk to each other, which is guttural, right? Answer the phone, what you doing? Like, fuck you talking to. That sounds street, but what this is not street. It's just street. It's like blackface of street, right? It's street face. It's not really street. That's not how anybody on the streets handle anything. And so it's just adorning street face, but it's not actually street, because for it to be street, they have to be in the same block. That there's a big difference. And I think that's the portion of it that I don't think you were grasping, that I was trying to put down. You got to be on the same block to be able to be street. You can't be street in New York and LA via text and a concrete wall of social media. It doesn't work that way. It literally takes the full context out of being street, right? Street is to be in your face. It doesn't work the same way via Twitter. Does that make sense? Like, it's giving street, but it's not actually street. Not when both of them have all this money and wealth and they're on private jets and they're, having dinner at the Kennedy Center, and that's not street. I know you want it to be. I know it's kind of fun because it brings them down to earth. So it makes them relatable, right? Like, oh, she's so hood, she's so tough. But at the end of the day, they both have nannies. At the end of the day, they both have private chefs. At the end of the day, they have chauffeurs. At the end of the day, they have Cessnas and private jets. At the end of the day, they have private pilots to take them around the globe. At the end of the day, they probably have the phone number to Donatella Versace. That's not street. I think you want it to be that because it makes it feel like it's right in your backyard, but it's not. So I think that's the point. I think that's the portion that's missing. Relatability sells. We've talked about this plenty of times on this show. Why do so many people who are millionaires and billionaires still make millions and billions? Because of relatability. Because if you think that Cardi B is hood and street, that means that you relate to her, and ipso facto, whatever she attempts to sell you, you just might buy. Because she's relatable to you. Because if you still think Cardi B is hood, after everything that we discussed yesterday, then that means that there's some portion of her that's relatable to you. Cardi B is not relatable to me because Cardi B is a mogul. Cardi B is a millionaire. There's nothing about Cardi B that I find relatable at all. Because when I see Cardi B talk, money falls out of her mouth, not street. Not hood. Nothing. So if you still think Cardi B is this relatable, cute little girl from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, then that means she's got you exactly where she wants you. And that's good for her because it's good money. So be careful with relatability because relatability above all else is a key token to sell things to you. Always. People ask, there's been tons of, if you even go right here on YouTube, there's tons and tons and tons of stories about this girl by the name of Jenna Marbles. How did Jenna Marbles stay so relevant for all these years? She stayed relatable. How did Jeffree Star stay relatable for so many years? I just don't get it. Because he was on his private jet eating Taco Bell. That's relatable to some people. They're like, oh, even though he has $800 million, he still likes Taco Bell like us. Let me buy his $300 pallet. Okay, dodo. You know what I mean? Like, he's selling you something. He's selling you an aesthetic, you know? He's selling you an aesthetic. And if you eat it up, then he's got you right where he wants you. This from Veronica says, I think you are mislabeling what someone has versus where they are from and how they act. You prejudge them for having resources now, and she still has her mama raised her to be. Again, whatever Cardi B selling you, Veronica, you're definitely buying. That's what this is you connecting to her relatability, right? Her mother, her where she's raised and how she acts on the internet. That's relatability, you guys. That's a selling point. And I think it's because you might be on the other side of it where like I meet people all day when I do all these stories. I know what they're selling. They're selling relatability. That's the only common denominator between you and them. They're selling you something that's relatable. That's okay that you can't catch that very quickly. But when you do, then you will understand, right? So when Beyonce makes that house music, that's relatable to some people. When Beyonce comes out with an album about cheating husbands and spouses, although it happened to her, she knows it's a selling point and it's relatable. You think that Beyonce created Lemonade because it's her opening up her heart, but she's like, at the end of the album, she stayed with the nigga. Or did y'all forget that part? You know what she sold you in Lemonade? Heartbreak, which is relatable. You don't see her as a billionaire. You see her as a broken woman. In each portion of the album, you think she's getting closer and closer and closer away from Jay-Z, right? Even when the album was released, you didn't see her and him together very often. So she's selling you this idea that she's relatable. She goes through heartache too. Then what happens when the album gets released? She out here fucking Jay-Z. But I promise you, a lot of y'all probably left y'all mans because of it. Be careful with relatability because it's such one of the most well-crafted PR stunts that it can confuse you. So be careful with that. Chelsea Corner says, is that a selling point or is that just her reality? No, that's a selling point. You guys, okay, so the homework, I guess, just search on YouTube relatability. relatable and relatable PR. That's a real thing that is sold every day. It's a commodity that's sold. It's a commodity that is sold. I hate to tell you, I feel like I'm breaking a lot of y'all hearts out here. I'm sorry. This is from Tamiri says, now if Nicki and Cardi were to scrap in the street on Harlem, then but they are arguing on the internet in 2 different states. Be for real. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That would be street if they had met up in Harlem and fought. But them arguing on the internet is not hood or street or anything of that fashion. This from Red Pill Neon. Hey, says, hey, nosy chat and subs. I was given a survey coming into the chat and the relevancy of your content. Yes, I rated it very informative. Thank you very much. I didn't know I was on a rating scale, but I appreciate that. This is from St. Hudson. Said, why can't she be both? You can't. So when it comes to relatability and being a millionaire, the reason why you can't be both is because of economics. The reason why relatability is actually a sold commodity is because there's liquidity behind it. Relatability, if they can position it on the right character, that person can make an exceeding amount of money if it's done right. If it's done right, right? But because relatability is a sold commodity, right, with liquidity behind it, if you make that X amount, right, like let's get on a scale, Y equals MX plus B, right? You're graphed here and you go up, right? If you are to be selling the aesthetic of I'm the relatable street girl, hood girl who eat hot Cheetos and whoop de whoop de whoop, but your income begins to rise like this, you're positioned yourself in 2 different markets. So now that you have this money and this access to wealth, how do you still try to maintain that whole aesthetic that you had maintained down here with people who are not at this higher socioeconomic level? How do you still maintain that? There are tips and tricks to it, right? Again, the example of Jeffree Star eating Taco Bell on a on a private jet. But at some point, the people in the middle start to realize I'm being duped by something. Something's not right. They don't quite know what it is yet, but they're like, something about this image doesn't look right. Something about this image doesn't quite look right yet. You know what I mean? I don't like it. That's why celebrities will do specific key things to maintain their relatability, right? Maintaining their thick accents, right? Instead of trying to whitewash their voices when they do film, movie, television interviews or things of that nature. Keeping specific things that they've done when they were down here, right? Eating the hot Cheetos, hanging out in the hood, eating lean bays, going to the bodega, doing all this other stuff that was relative to who they are. And then reducing, when they're at this level, how much of their wealth that you can see. So they know that in their genre, you like fancy handbags and you like really cute like shoes and you like those Telfar bags and things of that nature. But Cardi B is not going to show you the inside of her. She's not going to give you a walkthrough of the inside of her entire house. Cardi B is not going to tell you that she has 2 private chefs, one to cook her breakfast, one to cook her dinner at night. She's going to get on TikTok and try to make some haphazard meal so it looks like she cooks, even though we know she doesn't. Cardi B's not going to tell you that she has private hairstylists who make her $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 wigs. She's not going to tell you that. So there's certain things about her income that she's not going to disclose to you because it reduces her ability to be relatable to you. That's why. So there's key things that they do within PR so that you don't get onto them and then immediately cut them down. A prime example would be that beauty guru lady, whatever her name is, who talked about how being an influencer is really hard, then found out that for her to do a TikTok video for you, she charges brands $85,000. She's not going to disclose that. She's going to just keep that thick Bostonian accent, you know what I mean? And talk about how she just loves this look. Knowing damn well she's doing it from a $3 million mansion. So there are things when it comes to being relatable that a lot of these millionaires won't show you, but you cannot. Unfortunately, St. Hudson, you cannot be both. You can just do a really good job at maintaining your relatability as your income rises. And at some point, it inflates, right? There's tons of people in the industry who have lost their relatability spectrum, i.e., Jenna Marbles, Gabby Hanna, Jackie Ina lost hers a while ago, and people are just, they don't really mess with her. So I could name a dozen celebrities who lost their relatability, a dozen YouTubers who lost their relatability, a dozen Instagrammers, a dozen TikTokers who lost their relatability. It's like a shield, you guys. It just falls off and then bam, it's gone and you can never get it back. So you have to maintain your relatability because it's a selling commodity. It's the most highest selling commodity you can have as a influencer, rapper, whatever you name it. It's the only thing you got that's going to sell you anything. Nothing else sells. Because the only people who are buying your products are the people at the bottom. Millionaires and billionaires are not streaming Beyonce's Lemonade album, but we are. So Beyonce's target market is not people who make over $2, $4, $5 million a year, because we know just by basic economics, those people don't spend money like we spend money. So maintaining your relatability is key. Let me get to some of the next question. 85K. Yes, child. Y'all must have missed that tea on the internet, child. Y'all missed that tea. Go to TikTok. It's all over TikTok. This is from Nay Styles. Hey, Nay says, I understand her selling point is relatable, but I think mentality is the same. I'm sorry. I think she not all there in the head from growing up how she did. You talking about Cardi B, or are you talking about who are you referring to? Jocelyn says, I think Nikki is getting these awards so the industry can move on from her. They're tired of her complaining. I agree. Red Pill says, it's all a facade. That the job of A&R industry. The most truth shown by Cardi was the video on Instagram of her handler not around her. I don't know, remember that video, but okay. Shauna says people are starting to wake up to it, as y'all should. As y'all should. I know I missed a lot of comments, so I'm going to just scroll to the top so I can get that. Saint says Beyonce has been in her shoes for over 30 years. I just before I get to the next comment, how do you think she did that? This is just a very real question. How do you think Beyonce has been able to maintain that for 30 years? If you honestly think that millionaires are buying Beyonce's records, I would like to see that in writing. I would also like to know who is Beyonce's target audience and what is their income level? Is Beyonce's target audience individuals who make anywhere between $28,000 and $100,000 a year? Is Beyonce's target audience anyone who makes between $1 million and $3 million a year? Is Beyonce's target audience the upper 10% of income earners in America? Is Beyonce's target audience the 1% of income earners in America? I just want to know, who do you think Beyonce's target audience is? Because if you say Beyonce's target audience is individuals who make $2 to $3 million a year, I think you'd be sadly mistaken. If you do say Beyonce's target audience is anyone who makes between $28,000 and $100,000 a year, right? Median income earners, because those are median income earners, then you'd be correct. You would be correct. And how do you sell to medium income earners? Being relatable. That is how you sell to medium income earners. Being relatable. That's it. So if you don't think Beyonce is relatable, then why do you listen to her music if you don't relate to it? Right? You probably wouldn't buy something you didn't relate to. You probably wouldn't listen to something you didn't relate to. If you think Beyonce has maintained a career of 30 years and she has maintained zero relatability, Beyonce must be some alien who's got everybody hypnotized. Beyonce has been able to maintain a career of 30 years because her target audience is income earners between $28,000 and $100,000, and maintaining music that level of income earners finds relatable. So there you have it. If you relate to Beyonce's music, she's got you exactly where she wants you. And that's fine. There's nothing nefarious about it. It's just keeping your eyes open to what it is you're being sold. It's not a conspiracy theory. Relatability is a commodity. I'm gonna say it one more time. Relatability is a commodity that has liquidity behind it. That's why it is such a shining thing that most music artists, most any person, right? Somebody who just sells cookbooks, somebody who sells clothes, that is that thing that they will fight till the death to never lose, maintaining a relatability to their audience so that their audience continue to support them. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. It is. It's that simple. It's just, and I'm not saying this because I'm like, y'all, you guys are just doofuses and you guys are not dumb. You're probably I probably have one of the smartest audiences on TikTok. It's just that this is the truth. It's just the truth, and there's nothing wrong with it. But to say that it's not Cardi B's relatability is why you like her. It is, because somehow you guys think that a millionaire is street, which literally is an oxymoron. Cardi B is not street. It is an aesthetic she has been selling you, and you guys are eating it up with whatever spoon you got handy. Okay, I hate to say it like that, but it's very much true. It's very much, that's what it is. Okay, and that's all right. But she's not street, you guys. Street people are not Cardi B. Cardi B is not street, but it's definitely an aesthetic, and I see that it's working, and it is wildly crazy that you guys believe that. It's wild. It's wild that you believe that you would believe a millionaire is street. Never seen that woman fight a day in your life. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Just leave that at that. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting seeing this, play out. Like, oh, she's so street, she's so hood, she's so tough, she's so whoop. I was like, at Cardi B's current socioeconomic level, have you seen her fight? Have you seen her go into her hood and fight? Have you seen her go to her within the trenches of her hood, being street, whatever it is that's going, apparently you guys think is going over my head? If y'all are so wrapped up in this aesthetic that Cardi B is selling you, she has you exactly where she wants you in order to be able to digest whatever it is she's about to sell you. Whatever it is she's about to sell you. If you guys think Nicki Minaj is street, if you think Beyonce is this heartbroken, relatable, sad girl, whatever Beyonce is selling you, I know for a fact y'all gonna buy. And as you should, as you should. If that's the boat y'all float on, I support it. But be aware of what you're being sold. That's all I'm saying. Just be aware of what you're being sold. Be like, hey, I know it's not real. I know Beyonce and Jay-Z love each other. I know she's a billionaire, and I know she's selling me this aesthetic, but I like the aesthetic and I'm gonna buy into it. And that's okay. But don't be delusional. You can't be both. Okay. Don't be delusional too, child. I love y'all, but I need y'all to be fully aware of what you are divulging into. Be fully aware of what you're all divulging into, because I be worried about your mental health sometimes. I just be slightly concerned. That's all. This is from Chelsea says, so who do you like, Steph? Music wise, I like SZA. I know SZA is a habitual liar, allegedly. I know that SZA is obviously a millionaire too, right? But she sings a lot of sad music, and I like that. I'm fully aware of the aesthetic I have bought into, and I'm okay with that. I like SZA. Okay. I like her. There ain't nothing wrong with that. This from Veronica says she doesn't tour without getting her bag. It's the only times someone that doesn't write music gets. Oh, this might not be for me. I'm sorry. Amanda MBS says, wait a minute, but Whitney Houston can actually sing. They are not in the same category. Are y'all tussling in the comments about singers? This is from Brenna Love. Hey, Brenna says, Steph, did you forget the live you had a couple of months ago when he talked about Cardi B in a gang? Now, that is true, but there's a difference. It's more like, in my opinion, allegedly, I think it's all organized crime. And I feel like maybe tomorrow we can go into that into detail. It's not what you think it is. It's not like shoot 'em up, bang, bang. It's not like that. It's more of like the mob, like 1970s mob where everything's all organized and strategic. I also think Nicki Minaj is too, my personal opinion, allegedly, not fact. But I also think that Nicki Minaj is too, allegedly. And this all comes from 6ix9ine's court document transcripts that when he was doing his testimony in court, that's where these suppositions come from. So they're not, even though they're my personal opinions, I'm getting them from 6ix9ine's deposition. That's why. This is from Shauna, and then I'm going to get out of here. Shauna says, all costs are factored into concert tickets, including pre-sale, which is why her tickets are average $400. She could do a small audience live with no transfer in the name. I don't think you're talking to me, but hello. But yes, you guys, so that's it. That's all I got for you for today. So yes, in conclusion, Cardi B is not hood. Cardi B is not street. Cardi B is selling you an aesthetic, and you guys really like it, and that's okay. I'm glad you guys like it. I like it too. I have no problem with Cardi B's aesthetic. I'm just fully aware it's not real. And I'm not talking about her accent's fake. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to Cardi B's aesthetic of being street or hood. She is neither of those things. But I like Cardi B. So granted, I didn't like what she was doing yesterday. That was kind of gross of her, but all in all, like, I actually like Cardi B. I think she's funny. I think she's relatable. I like her relatability. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's always, always a good time for me. She's very like she's very low energy. She's very like high energy, low latency, right? So she just delivers it however she delivers it. And I like it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. After show on TikTok at Chief Nosy Bystanders. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for the live show. Talking about more tea. Also, I don't know if y'all noticed this or not, but did y'all hear today that allegedly Ashley Grayson had put a hit out on the TikToker who was doing that full series on her? Wild. If you don't know who Ashley Grayson is, she is a I don't even know how to even explain it. I guess she is a what does she do? Credit repair service or some shit. I don't know what she do. This chick here, Ashley Grayson, does a credit repair service or something. Allegedly stated that she built her multi-million-dollar company from the ground up. Allegedly, it's not true. So according to sources, they stated that Ashley Grayson actually received a lump sum settlement for working at an olive oil company and ended up losing a number of her fingers in one of the machines at the olive oil company, which landed her a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. So instead of disclosing that alleged settlement, Ashley Grayson stated that she built her company from the ground up, even though she had not. According to the notable TikToker who's been covering her story, Sherelle Hudson, stated that Ashley Grayson actually put a hit out on her, and it was disclosed to her by the FBI. This is all alleged. I have no idea if any of this is true. But I did speak to Sherelle this morning and just made sure she was okay. And she was just getting out of there. But if you don't know, I highly encourage you, and I'll pull up the series here. Give me 1 second. I highly encourage you to go check out this series here, okay? Oh, why am I not logged in? I don't be knowing my login. I get so irritated by this. Irritates the living bejesus out of me. Like, why does TikTok log you out? Don't they care? Don't they care about our well-being? Hold on. I'm going to log in really quickly. You guys, give me one moment. Nope. Can't do it here. Sheesh. I got to figure out what it is. Hold on one second, you guys. Oh, here we go. Let me log in. Y'all better hope I know my password. I don't be knowing it. Is it this one? Nope. I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to show you on my phone. I don't be knowing. Here, I'll pull it up. Before friends. Oh, she's live right now. Is she? Or did I miss it? Oh, I missed it. She was live. Is she live? This is the live y'all probably should be watching right now. She probably thinks she got this. Let me try to get this on my phone. This is the live. And this is the series. If you check it out, this is the Ashley Grayson series that you should. This is the series we're referring to with Ashley Grayson. But let me get into this live, honey. Let me get into this live because we got to figure out. Hold on now. She live, honey. We got to figure this out. I didn't get no text message. I didn't get no warning that she was going live. Hold on. What you call it? I think her phone's breaking up. Let me get it on my computer because I know y'all want to watch. That's why y'all still here. Hold on. Let me log in. I don't know what my login password is for TikTok. Lord. Okay. Y'all better hope I can figure it out. I don't know what the fuzz it is. What do you mean too many attempts? Just log me in, damn it. Too many attempts. I don't know what my password is, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. What? Okay. Girl, listen, if the dog wanted you, I promise you he would have been had a long time ago. Oh, I got the password. Okay. I think this is it. Too many attempts. Try later. This is unusual. I don't know, y'all. It's not letting TikTok not effing with me today. What in the world? But I'm logged in on my phone. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's the weirdest thing. I've never experienced this. I don't know what my password is. Hold on, let's try again. Okay, let's try another one. Okay. I don't freaking know, you guys. No clue. Sorry. I lucked out. So she's live right now. I assume she's talking about the ordeal with what is going on. I encourage you to watch it. She's live now. I wish I had more information for you. I honestly I don't. She said to me today was that she got a call from the FBI. Let me catch you up to speed. She got a call from the This sucks because I need it right here. but she's not allowed. Just to full disclosure, she's not allowed to discuss it. So the FBI, according to Sherelle, the FBI called her today, stated that there was a hit out. Somebody put a hit out for her, and that she needs to move to a different location for tonight. And that's all they disclosed to her, according to her. And that's wild. But yeah.
What he gonna do? I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53206. From exactly. The worst zip code in the country. You can Google it. Google it.
So I don't know what they're discussing, but I don't think they're talking about the case. But her best friend, he was discussing it today, Deshaun. He went live to talk about it today. But that's all I got for you guys. As soon as I get some more updates on her, I'll text Sherelle right now, like, girl, what the fuck's going on? And I'll get y'all the tea. I am working on the Ashley Grayson story, but mostly her husband and his connection to the Potter's house. That's it. But I'm not discussing any other facet of this Ashley Grayson because she sounds like a Looney Tune. But you guys, I'm your host, She's Nosy Bystander. We'll see you later on tonight on the after show. All right, you guys, take care. Oh, her name. I put her name in the chat. Her name is ESS. Those are 2 underscores. I spelled that wrong, but it's ESS _ ACHE. ACHE. Sherelle Hodges. If you can't find her, you can just look her name up on TikTok, and she'll either one will pop up on TikTok, you guys. So have a good evening. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you again. Bye-bye.